So Nonstop Printing started in 1993 by my dad. He was an immigrant from Hong Kong and really wanted to start from scratch. So yeah, he worked for his brother for a little bit in a printing company and then started Nonstop Printing in 1993. We started as a printing company doing mostly like what I call traditional things like brochures, business cards, and things like that. But we also, when I came in, I wanted to do like really fancy things. And it started with a lot of pride. I wanted to do things like books, foil stamping, wedding invitations, things like that. And we really grew from there each year, just added to our capabilities. And today we really focus on coffee table books, art books, and event printing in Hollywood. So I kind of talk about ourselves as like, we're like the Jason Bourne or Men in Black printers, where if you have like a super secretive event, if you have a important event, things like weddings, but obviously like shows, we are that printer for you. When it has to be done right the first time, that's us. So the software that we have is Phoenix, and it started with that. And then I started asking questions like, wow, this automation's amazing. After that, I looked into Enfocus Switch. So those are the two cores of our automation journey. It actually all started with Phoenix. And then I asked George, after I got accustomed with Phoenix, like, I think Enfocus Switch is a good product. Who do you recommend that I talk to get that product? And that's when he recommended me to mark at significance. And that's how I got into Switch. Because we're in Hollywood and people want high touch points, it's not like a web to print storefront that's processing all this. It still starts with an email for us. But for us, a book, for example, in the past, just to like show the customer a digital proof, it would take us about an hour per book. When we use Switch now, it takes us again 5 minutes to show a digital proof. So there's still high touch point, and we still go back and forth with the client a lot. For example, the average time it takes for a book to get through our system and our customers is about 4 back and forth conversation, 4 versions of a book before we get to the final one. That would mean that it would take 3 to 4 hours just to get the file into production, because every time we got a new version, we would have to go through InDesign, bring in all the pages, and that would take forever. Now with Switch, it's not a big deal. I actually say, hey, you got a new version? No problem. I'll throw it through our system. You'll get a beautiful report. And again, that takes us just a couple of minutes now. So our volume's been able to go higher. There's still a journey to get to that next level. Switch on its own can only do so much. Pitstop, for me, you could argue that Pitstop does more than Switch does, but yeah, I just think of them as the same thing. But yeah, absolutely. All those proofs that we do are from Pitstop. Manipulating a PDF, doing the proof preview. The reports that I talked about for looking for file issues, that's all done through Pitstop server. We also use just like the general Pitstop. So for all the little changes that we have to make, my team, we have 3 subscriptions, and that's been huge too. There's literally things you can't do in Illustrator or InDesign that you can do in Pitstop. So yeah, Pitstop has been incredible. So we've used automation more to expand creativity rather than just try to push more jobs through, right? That was why I got into the automation, not because I need to get 1,000 jobs through. It's because I need to make this one high-end book more mentally and emotionally sustainable than doing a ton of jobs. That was more of why I got into this. I want to make it clear, you do not have to be a web to print storefront in order for Enfocus Switch and Phoenix to be transformative for your company. You can be a small mom and pop shop like us, or a small company like us, and still get immense gains from this kind of software. So automation was really interesting for me because we could do things that big companies were doing, but on a very small scale. And I would say that's probably the biggest power of Enfocus Switch. Enfocus Switch allows people to do big company things. It can automate things that only used to be accessible to large companies. And now we could bring it to a small scale and make a better life for ourselves.